You know, I've always had a problem with people taking symbolism at face value. Take Chernobyl, for example. 1986. The world looked on as a nuclear reactor blew its top, a cloud of death spreading over Europe, people falling sick, rivers poisoned. And what did some brilliant minds in the prophetic world do? They slapped a label on it, wormwood. Yes, because apparently a plant in the same genus as the biblical wormwood equals apocalypse. Easy, neat, sensational. Boom, done. And for decades, that stuck. But here's the thing, if you dig into the real timeline, the naming is completely, utterly, laughably wrong. But that's just my opinion. Revelation 8:10-11 says it all. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers and upon the fountains of waters. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters, because they were made bitter. See, over 20 years prior, back in 1962, a man was born, and not just any man. One whose very name, traced back through centuries of linguistic evolution, could be read in a biblical sense as the dark star of the sea. 24 years later, he would enter higher education, pursuing law, a profession that would shape his career and arguably shape the regret of an entire nation. By the time the world was catching the first glimpses of that radioactive cloud, in April 1986, this man had just completed his second degree. That same year, he stepped fully into the professional world, armed with credentials and ambition, stepping toward a trajectory that would later make the waters bitter in ways far more subtle, far more sustained than Chernobyl ever could. So let's get this straight. Chernobyl gets labeled wormwood because of linguistic coincidence. The plant's Ukrainian name, Chernobyl, matches Artemisia, genus of wormwood, a post-event tag, but the actual living, ongoing, slow-burn corruption that turns what should sustain a nation into bitter poison, that was already in training, that was already on the move 24 years prior, and it didn't just fall from the sky in a single fiery instant. It crept through institutions, law, policy, rivers, the very bloodstream of governance, unnoticed by the world until the bitter taste hit everyone in the mouth. Welcome to the Snake Pit, where we're full of bile and venom. I'm your host, Snake Damon, and today we're not looking at sudden flashes or media headline disasters. We're looking at the kind of prophecy that slithers quietly through institutions, hiding in names, in ambition, in rivers and halls of power. And trust me, the bitterness is already there, flowing, waiting for people to taste it. Let's start with the name Keir Starmer. Names are more than just letters, you know. They're codes, their history, their fate. And honestly, this isn't some poetic gimmick. Just follow me through centuries of language, translation and reinterpretation, and you'll see the symbolism is as tight as a noose. So Keir Starmer, in modern English, basically means dark plus famous star. If you trace it back, in Old English, it's Deorc Steora Maya, dark, renowned star. Then in Latin, it becomes Stella Obscura Nota, dark, known star. Greek, that's Skotinos Asta Doxasmenos, dark, renowned star. Now, in Revelation Greek, the word Asta, meaning star, gets named wormwood. Absinthos, which means bitterness. And in biblical imagery, a dark named star falls and brings bitterness. It's wild, isn't it? See what this does? It ties the man's very name, centuries of language, centuries of translation, directly to the same symbolic warning the Bible gives, a dark star named wormwood that brings bitterness to the waters. Not metaphorical. The chain of translation, linguistic evolution, and biblical imagery all line up almost unnervingly. Now, timing. Keir Starmer was born on the 2nd of September 1962, which was 24 years before the world's attention fell on Chernobyl in 1986. That's 24 years before the post-event label Wormwood was casually slapped on a disaster that in truth had already been symbolically misread. While people were drawing lines from plants to prophecy, the real dark star was stepping into the systems that would, slowly, make the waters bitter, long before anyone even thought to look. Education, for example. The man enters university, law school, the kind of career that honestly touches everything: courts, legislation, governance. His first degree was completed the year prior to the nuclear disaster, and his second degree came the same year as the events at Chernobyl. While the world panicked over a radioactive cloud, he was stepping into professional life, credentialed and ambitious, armed with degrees that would allow him to navigate the corridors of power. One can almost see it in slow motion. A young man, shadowed in his name, moving through institutions that would later carry his influence like a quiet poison. This is where the symbolism sharpens. Chernobyl was a momentary, catastrophic flash, a single explosion, visible, terrifying, finite. But the dark star, the real wormwood, that's gradual corrosion, an invisible hand that touches governance, environmental management, legal oversight, and public trust. Not a cloud across Europe, a drip into rivers, institutions, policies, ethical frameworks. Turn the metaphorical waters bitter, and, well, watch as life that depends on them begins to sicken. Let's expand that, shall we? The Thames, split into thirds, becomes more than just geography. The upper Thames flows quietly, mostly untouched, while the lower Thames moves toward the estuary, outward to the open sea. But it's the middle Thames, London, Westminster, the very seat of power, that matters here. The waters that should sustain the nation, the fountains of law, justice, infrastructure, all running straight past the hands of this dark star. And what do we actually see? Policies that erode public trust, environmental negligence, lithium batteries discarded into rivers, chemical pollutants, bureaucratic indifference, turning the waters bitter, subtly, persistently. And it's everywhere. Ethical decay, public disillusionment, the slow erosion of what should sustain the people. Political decisions that appear ordinary, boring even, but cumulatively poison the social and moral currents of a nation. You can't taste the bitterness instantly. You drink it daily without realizing until it's too late. This is the living, ongoing fulfillment of symbolic wormwood. It's not about fire and flash. It's about drip, corrosion, entropy. The man's career mirrors the pattern-first law, then advocacy, then politics. Degrees in hand, doors open, influence secured. While others predicted apocalypse in a nuclear cloud, the dark star of the sea stepped into the very channels that feed life. Governance, justice, oversight, and began the slow transformation from sustenance to bitterness. Names don't lie. History doesn't lie. Symbolism doesn't lie. Let's be clear. This is not about whether the prophecy was literally fulfilled. Revelation does not timestamp modern events. But you know, the pattern is unnerving. The waters are poisoned. Slowly, deliberately, persistently. The institutions meant to provide guidance are steeped in self-interest. Ambition and shadowed intent rise like a star from chaos, and the people, they taste the bitterness every day. Every policy, every mismanaged system, every bureaucratic corner-cutting is another drop into the river. You look at the Thames, the policy streams, the national infrastructure, all flowing past the seat of power, and it all aligns with centuries of symbolic warning. This is Wormwood, not a flash in the sky, not a headline disaster, a quiet, enduring scourge. So yes, Chernobyl got mislabeled. The real dark star didn't need a reactor to explode. He didn't need visible fire. He moves quietly, through degrees, through offices, through law and policy. The waters he touches turn bitter in ways the public only notices decades later. And the name itself, the centuries of linguistic history baked into it, is a warning. The dark star of the sea rises, the waters sicken, and the people drink. Thanks for dropping by the Snake Pit, where we thrive on untapped potential and lost opportunities. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell, like the video, and leave your opinion in the comments, where naturally I won't read them. Until next time, stay venomous.